These are my favorite band exercises.
Mine too.
Hey, welcome. I'm Coach Tonya with Criticalbench, joined by
Coach Chris.
And we're here to talk all about bands. We've got a lot of great exercises for all of you, our favorites.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about why we like them, why they're so wonderful for you, and with an assortment of bands, because we love bands here at the compound.
Yeah.
We incorporate them in many, many ways. And as a matter of fact, we even have our own mini bands.
We do have our own mini bands.
Yeah, we're going to be using these today. Now, men. Oh yeah, okay. So we've got here's your mini band, there's your mini band on steroids.
Yeah, so we have all kinds of bands here at the compound. So we're gonna show you 15 of our favorite band exercises.
Starting with the mini
bands.
bands.
Mini bands, power bands, we got resistance bands. We're just gonna go band crazy on you. Yeah, and
band mania.
Tonya is gonna show her favorite mini bands first. So get ready for the top 5 best mini band exercises.
Check it out. Okay, so Coach Chris has already banded up. I'm going to wear my band a little differently just to show you 2 different options. So, and while I'm getting this on, we have a free, I know you're going to love this, a free mini band workout. You click that pinned comment, it'll take you right there and you'll get it immediately. So make sure you click that and you're going to get a free workout you're going to love. All right, so we're starting with monster walks. I love these for glutes and legs. So it's just, yeah, it's a monster walk. You're kind of taking a bit of a wide step or like a half moon step. We like to do a lot of these on the turf, hey?
We do.
Can you feel that?
I feel it from the other day.
Oh, yeah. So these are definitely one of my favorites. And when you get, if you have really good leg strength, really good glute strength, you've got good, good core strength as well, you want to choose a band that's a little more challenging because you want to create as much resistance that you can handle while still performing the exercise properly. Okay. Now, a lot of our videos, or at least in a lot of my videos, I talk about that 10 to 12 rep range, or sometimes a 12 to 15 rep range. But when it comes to walking, like banded walks, things like that, I'm usually aiming for more like in the 20, 25 per side. Okay. And that's going to really hit that lower body. How's that feel?
It feels great.
Yeah,
and
buns of steel.
You really do notice, especially on the way back on the turf,
yeah,
the glutes are really starting to fire.
Starting to fire. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to keep our bands right where they are, unless you want to change yours, because we're going to go right into a lateral shuffle. So again, it's really targeting again those glutes and those leg muscles, and we're just going to shuffle down this way. Okay. Now you can walk it, or you can actually shuffle it. So Coach Chris is going to step it. I'm doing more of a shuffle. Both work, okay? Now, because we've basically loaded the one side, we need to go back the other way to make sure we're hitting the other side just as much. So, bringing it back. And again, make sure you're choosing, if you can do this really easy for like, let's say 4 sets, you need to go up a band. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And notice, too, Tonya's is around her ankle, mine is closer to the knee.
Yeah.
So, depending on your personal preference, by the ankle should feel a little bit harder, but it all depends on the level of band that you're using.
Yes.
So play around with that. Yeah. The more you experiment, the more you do all of these movements, the more you'll get a better feel for what your needs are, what level you're at. But for such a simple tool, it's amazing what it can do for your legs, and to get that lateral motion in the mix is so important.
I used to tell all my clients that travel, get mini bands, because they can fit in they take up no room, they take no weight, and if you're staying in a hotel, that's a great long hallway to do things like monster walks and shuffles and all kinds of lower body exercises with something really simple. And where you wear them to, kind of a small point, but sometimes it depends on what you're wearing. Like if you got really like that really shiny Lycra type, they're gonna roll.
I got some of those.
They tend to not roll as much when they're on your skin, but that's just a personal thing, right? All right, so my next favorite exercise with the mini bands is a deadlift. I love deadlifts anyways, but I really love how you can use the mini bands to do these. So you want to put them just around the balls of your feet, okay? And You want to have your feet maybe just a little bit, like shoulder width, maybe a little bit less apart, okay? And you're going to grab the mini band basically as you would a bar, if you were using a bar or dumbbells or whatever, and same motion, okay? If you need a slight bend in your knee, that's fine. From this position, you're still driving through your heels, coming up and lifting. Okay, now see, I could probably go to a heavier band on this because I'm not feeling like I'm getting a lot of resistance. But if you're using an appropriate band for your strength, you are going to feel this day 2 or 3, because this is an excellent way to do deadlifts, especially again, maybe if you aren't able to get to the gym, you do a lot of traveling. You know, I don't know a lot of people that travel with dumbbells in their suitcases, right? I know one person that did that, but yeah, I love the mini band deadlift. That's a great exercise to target that.
Just mention too the hip hinge.
Oh yes, you want to make sure that when you're coming back, when you're going into this movement, okay, yeah, you show them, I'll talk. Notice how Coach Chris, okay, pull up. So he's coming up. Okay, so see how he's kind of in line. He's nice and line and straight. Now, as he lowers, he's keeping his back straight. His hips are coming back. We call that a hip hinge. He's bending at the hips. He's not rounding. He's not dropping or drooping. He's coming down at the hips. He's still keeping a nice straight spine, nice form. Okay, and then he's going to come up again. He's driving. You can't see, but he's driving up through those heels, up to the back of the legs. The pelvis comes a little bit forward. He's not locking it under, but it does come a bit forward by default if you're doing that, you know, executing that properly. Again, coming down, hips hinge back. He's keeping his hands close to the front of his legs, and he's going to come up, and just like that. Okay, Coach Chris is already in position doing the clamshell, another one of my favorites, especially for glutes. Sometimes people tend to feel a little awkward doing this, but you know, find a corner. If you're doing it at home, it doesn't really matter, but they're, you know, find a corner, find your corner.
I feel right at home.
Go to timeout, okay? Now again, I could probably go to a heavier band, but just to show you, so knees are stacked and bent. Feet are stacked one on top of the other, and you're lifting that one knee up and then lowering, and you want to keep that resistance in there. You don't want to make sure you're not resting in between. You want to keep that tensity. You want to keep that resistance. So those, yeah, they're firing. Hey, you feel them fast. Okay, and again, this is one of those exercises, you know, if you're new to using mini bands, it feels a little awkward for you. If you don't have a lot of lower body strength, aim for that 12 to 15 rep range. But if you do have some lower body strength, you should be able to hammer out 20, 25. Mm-hmm. That's what I like to aim for, because I put these in a lower body day workout, and they kind of finish you off, you know. And whatever we do to one side, we got to do the other. So you make sure you hit the one side, you hit the other, and really challenge yourself, really hit that top rep range if you can. And I strongly recommend doing these at the end of your leg workout. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah, obviously it's a very isolated movement.
Yes.
But such a good burner, mm-hmm. and a movement that you're just not going to be able to do with a machine or with free weights.
Yeah, you should already have worked what I would do is I would already be worked to fatigue. Like I'd pretty much be spent and done with my workout, and then I will finish with like some finishing exercises like this, and I would be looking at 4 sets of, like, for myself, between 30 and 50 till I really just can't move my legs anymore. They're like jello. Yeah. Because anything that's left in the tank is gone.
Yeah, it's a good one to do to failure.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And my last one, which is it's more of a stretch, I guess. But if you tend to have really tight hip flexors or you get sore in there, like I do a lot, this is fantastic to open that up, stretch that out. And it's kind of, if you're familiar with a bicycle, Coach Chris, just show them a bicycle movement without anything yet. So a bicycle is, you're laying flat and you're just moving your feet like you're on a bicycle. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the bands by putting them around our feet, all right? And what you're going to do is you're going to extend into that bicycle motion and hold for like maybe a count of 3. So it's a movement and a hold, okay? And you're going to switch. So it doesn't necessarily look like you're doing a whole lot. Again, you definitely want a band on this that you're gonna feel that resistance. You can see Coach Chris's band, he's really stretching it. Okay. And again, I'd say like around 10 to 12 of these. These I really recommend pre-workout and or post. I'll sometimes do them both.
Yeah.
Both pre and post workout, but definitely good for pre. And if you're, if you really hammered and crushed that lower body workout, or, if you're somebody that sits a lot during the day at a desk, stop and take 5 minutes and drop and give me 10.
But it's good because it not only gets you to lengthen your hip flexor, it's also a little bit of an abdominal workout.
Exactly.
You're trying to press the small of your back.
Yeah, you want to push that belly button into the floor.
Yep. And just hold good posture. Be very, do your movements very controlled.
Yeah.
Slow and controlled.
Remember to breathe.
Yeah.
Because we have a tendency to hold our breath.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I love movements like that. They're great. Very effective.
So those are my favorite ones with the mini bands. Yep. I love those exercises. I mean, I like most of them, but those would be my top ones.
Time to move on to
Time to move on. Power. So these, we're going from the mini bands to mini bands on steroids.
Okay, so we're moving on to
power bands.
Power bands. Remember that thing you used to do with a belt when you were little? Like you do this. Remember this? Hey, come on now. Oh, yeah. It used to make like a snapping sound. Anyway.
Maybe they're too
maybe they're too noodly. Yeah. So the great thing about power bands is they are heavy duty. They're like giant elastic bands, very thick, very durable, and amazing for training for power, training for strength, a little bit more explosive movement in nature. So what I want to show you is actually, you're going to see from Tonya doing this exercise with no dumbbells, but I want to show you how to do a dumbbell press with a band and dumbbells. Yeah, so what you do is you kind of just start like this, and like you're putting on clothes, and you just kind of get the band back behind your body like this. Then what Tonya can do is set the dumbbells up on my legs. Perfect. It's always good to have a friend. Okay, so the band, as you can see, is just across my back, and now I'm just going to lay back in a comfortable position, just like I would normally do a dumbbell press. But now I have this extra band resistance, okay? So I have to very forcefully kind of power up, okay? My press. Back down. Explosive. Back down. Explosive. Back down. Now, if you want to increase your explosive nature of a press, right? If you want to work on your speed, the band is such a great, safe way to do it. Start with maybe just the band, like you're going to see with Tonya, or the band with some lighter dumbbells, and get used to that double resistance. Resistance from the dumbbells, resistance from the band. So Tonya's doing the same thing. Good. Beautiful. And that's a fair amount of resistance, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
start with a lighter dumbbell with this.
Yes. Yeah. Tonya's pretty strong. She's been training with weights for a long, long time. But, she could probably still handle like a 10-pound dumbbell in each hand. But her reps might be lower, maybe 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 reps.
No, I love bringing the bands in.
But the bands are a terrific way to take an otherwise normal barbell or dumbbell exercise and add a whole new dimension to it. And so, but that's absolutely one of my favorites, and one of the first ones I would recommend somebody who's inexperienced with these. Gravitate to like a lighter one, like this black one. We have some other colors. They're color coded, and start to have some fun playing with these. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, time to work the triceps. That's not really the exercise, just feels funny. Okay, so another great exercise is a arm press down, a tricep press down, arm extension, whatever you want to call it. This is terrific for lockout strength. Okay, so talking definitely to you to you guys who want to bench press more weight, lockout strength is critical, that last part of the bench press when you're trying to lock that arm out. So the bands are terrific for training that. And you know, but the ladies love to have the nice toned triceps, right? They don't want those bat wings. So grab the band that feels appropriate to you. You can go with your hands right next to each other. You could grab it kind of more like a neutral if you wanted to. You could play around with it. There's a lot of different grips are good. Yeah, I mean, you could even grab it more like underhand and do a reverse arm extension. So, but we're gonna go traditional press down, hands are together, and then you're just doing lockouts. Boom. Elbows are pinned kind of to the rib cage area. And then, sweat going on. Yeah, we got the Florida sweat. Yeah, my heavy hitter shirt's looking pretty weathered right now, but what are you gonna do? So we're just pushing. You can see Tonya's triceps. Turn a little bit so they can see, yeah. Boom, just press it out. Now, you can even go faster tempo, and this would be a higher rep activity. So this is something that you could absolutely do 15, 20, 25 reps of. That's the beauty of the bands, is that they are typically very safe. And you can do higher repetition, and you can you go to failure. So yeah, so depending on what the exercise is, you know, for like an exercise like that, do that at the end of your routine, not before your overhead presses and your bench press. Save that for the end.
Triceps are done, they're done.
Yeah. When the triceps are done, you're done. No more pressing for you. So, but that is truly one of our favorites, and we do this one a lot in our team workouts.
We do.
Yeah, Mike loves this one because back in his Tampa barbell days, training for powerlifting, that was one of the ones that they did all the time. That's like an auxiliary or accessory movement. So let's move on now to a one-arm row or one-arm high pull. So Tonya, you can actually stay, you know, there if you'd like. And then what you're gonna do is just set your feet so that you feel sturdy. Set your feet so you feel sturdy. Staggered is probably, you know, gonna work the best for you. So your opposite foot is forward, and then you're just doing a one-arm pull back. Yeah.
You probably want to have your weight to a little bit forward.
Yeah, that's.
Back.
Yeah, and if you can't hear Tonya very well, that's it. She's saying, you know, make sure that your weight is kind of pitched forward towards your anchor point. Good, and just keep your vision forward at the anchor point, so you kind of maintain that good posture, and try to pull your hand to the front of the shoulder area, side of the chest. After you do, you know, 10, 15 pulls, switch sides, same thing. So you get this nice one-arm high pull. This is great for obviously all those muscles in the back. You're getting your rear delt, you're getting your rhomboids, you're getting your trapezius, your lats, you're getting all the muscles in the upper mid-back area. And you know, 10, 15 per side. That's a good one too. And you feel it fast. A lot of muscles working there. Obviously, you still got even, you know, the forearms and the biceps are working. So terrific, terrific exercise. Moving on. All right, girl, you ready to do some pull-ups?
I am. My least favorite exercise in the world, but ladies, really, if you want that back, like, you know, the back I'm talking about, probably hands down the best exercise to get that shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta, and this, I don't, you know, to do a pull-up, I can do a pull-up, but if I have the bands, I can do a better job and I can do more, so.
Yeah, let's break it down. So I'm gonna just point out a few things while Tonya does some pull-ups here.
You want me this way or this
way? No, you're perfect. Face that, face in so they can see the back. So she has to pull the band down to get it under her one knee. You pick a knee, and you can rotate. Get a good firm grip, full stretch, chin the bar, good. So she has a, you know, she has a fair amount of resistance helping her, but she's actually doing quite a lot of work with this purple band. Try one more, girlfriend. Yeah, all right, good, now rest it. Good. So what you have is you have a built-in spotter. See that smile too? She came out, this is a woman that likes to work her muscles and train hard, but anybody can do these. You know, even if you're a true beginner, you have no ability to do one pull-up on your own body weight. then use a heavier duty band. You know, look how big these things get. I mean, this would be too much help for just about anybody. Yeah, I mean, this is giving you this is giving you like 230 pounds worth of resistance. This is a lot of resistance. That's heavier than I am. Yeah. So you have to know, like, you know, which band is most suitable for you. But that exercise right there, if you don't have an assisted pull-up machine or chin-up machine where you train, this is the next best thing. Most places have a pull-up bar.
Yes.
And it's one of the easiest things to install at your home too, you know. So I just love the pull-up. So when I do them, I'll do them oftentimes on the monkey bars because I love that neutral grip. So again, pull the band down around the knee, okay? Take a firm grip, full stretch, and then just chin. Now this almost feels like, for me, too much assistance. So I could probably go that purple band that Tonya was using would probably be perfect for me, you know, to really get a nice amount of reps. Yeah. But, you know, there's no better back exercise other than maybe a deadlift for working your back muscles and getting your arms and just feeling strong. And look at kids effortlessly doing the monkey bars, pulling themselves up and hanging around. And as we get older, unfortunately, we don't do that, and heavier. We don't do that stuff anymore. But it feels so good and fun to do it, and I know you'll love it, so start doing that one. All right, moving on. Okay, we are
finished.
Yeah, the fifth move with the power band. So we're gonna do banded push-ups. So you saw banded presses with the dumbbells, but if you really just don't want to push any dumbbells, but you want added resistance with the band, do your push-ups. So again, I like to grab it like that first and then just go right behind me so that the band kind of sits kind of comfortably right behind your back, right? And then what we're gonna do, then you just kind of get down into push-up position, okay? Hands are on the ground. We went red band for Tonya because her triceps are starting to get pretty spent. And it doesn't take much, right? Getting a really good push-up position, right? Chest to the ground, push it out. So you're really not hitting that resistance till the arms extend. You're not feeling it too much at the bottom as you come up, that lockout, so it's that lockout power. So if you want to really improve your lockout strength with anything, dumbbells, barbells, machines, boom, start doing more banded push-ups and try to be forceful and explosive with the rep. So don't, you know, I mean, if you really want to, you know, mess around, you could try to do almost like slow ones where the time under tension is just exhaustive. But typically, if you're working for power, you want to work on speed. So try to do maybe 5 as fast as you can. And you're gonna hit failure pretty quick if you do 3 to 5 rounds of that for sure. But the banded pull-up, what a great exercise. Moving on now to resistance bands.
Okay, so we're moving on to the resistance bands. Big difference here is that these have handles, sometimes they have a hook handle, sometimes they have no handle at all and it's just the rubber tubing. If they have a handle or a hook, it gives you the option to hook it on, anchor it onto something that's very solid that isn't going to move, just to, you know, increase the variety of different exercises or the way you can do some of the exercises you might want to do. So here's our 5 favorites, starting with a reverse fly. We're going to hit those delts. Now you're going to see Coach Chris's form a lot better than mine because of where he's standing. His back is straight. He has a bit of a tilt at the hips, and that's okay. He's got his bent knees. He's nice and anchored to the floor, and he's just pulling out wide, really hitting those delts at the back. Okay? He's got that pause before releasing. He's got good resistance in that band. And again, just another option if you don't want to or you don't have access to dumbbells or a machine. You can get a great delt workout using these, all right? So we're going to keep the bands where they are. We're going to flip around. I'll hold those for you. And we're going to hit those pecs now with another fly. Here we go. And there, okay, so a reverse fly. Again, he's coming for basically the opposite movement. So going from here, open, to close, really squeezing, really hitting those chest muscles. Again, he's got a nice staggered stance, so he's solid and anchored in the floor. Back is straight. moving nice and slowly through that. And you feel that resistance?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Feels great.
And again, if you don't have access to a gym with a bench and dumbbells or a machine, you know, a $2.50 resistance band from Walmart, and you've got a homemade chest machine.
You can do tempo change too.
Yes,
with these.
absolutely. That would be a great finisher after like a heavy duty chest workout, just as many reps as possible, right? To death.
Love those. It just feels like a really nice stretch too.
Yeah, when you're coming back, if you can hold that pause, that's going to really just stretch out all that.
Yeah. Well, we're so tight through. Most people,
Sitting,
we overuse our anterior delt.
Yeah.
The front part of our shoulder is overused. We get those droopy, rounded forward shoulders.
Kyphosis.
And,
we get kyphosis.
Upper cross syndrome, all that stuff. So anytime you can do an exercise to pull you back or stretch you back, so huge.
Well, and like working opposing muscle groups, excellent training tip. Okay, now arm curls. I love doing these with resistance bands. Okay, so this is basically a bicep curl. Now you might, depending on what level of resistance band you have, because maybe you have one that's too light, you need a heavier one. You can manipulate that by your stance. Taking a wider stance is going to pull that band a little farther, which means you've got to pull a little harder against that band to get a nice arm curl.
Or even just grab
drop and grab it lower. So as long as your stance is grounded and you're comfortable, your back is straight, you're going up to that arm curl. Now whether you want to do like full arm curls, you can do like full. You can do from 90 degrees, or what I like to do is I call them 21s. So I do 7 from lower to 90. I'll do 7, then I'll do 7 from 90 to up, or 90 to close, and then I'll finish with 7 full, and do that for 3 or 4 sets. And your biceps are going to be screaming.
These are just great though for really forcing a strong contraction.
Yes.
It doesn't always, for the guys out there who are like, I don't do curls with
bands.
But
really?
As a finisher?
Yeah, as a finisher,
I mean, there's great tension on my arms right now. So I could even just do isometric holds, or I could do speed work where I'm really going as many reps, 50 reps or something. I mean, talk about an arm pump.
No, and you know what? Just on that note, I was at an LA Fitness in Edmonton, Canada last week, and there's a show coming up somewhere up there, and there was about 4, these were big guys. They were getting ready for a show. So they were big, and they were doing an upper, looked like a lot of upper body, and they had they were massive, they were huge. Yeah. And at the end, when they were done, they all went to their bags and they grabbed resistance bands, and they were like just trying to get I think one guy heard like 70 or 75. They were done, but that was their finisher.
That was their finisher.
That was their finisher to get that, because they're leaning out and getting toned up for that look on stage. So
there's a purpose for just about every strength tool, and these still have purpose for guys. Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so another face pulls. Ooh. Love face pulls. I'm gonna switch up the band because this is a little shorter. Oh, how about that? Going to go red. All right, so you want to have this kind of at face level-ish, all right? Okay, you want to start back a bit so there's already some resistance in that band. Now, shoulder width apart or staggered is fine. I like to do a staggered stance. Sometimes I'll just, depending how heavy a band I'm using. And you're going to bring those elbows straight back, and like you're pulling it right level to your eyes or to your temples, okay? And release. Keep that back straight and pull and pause, and then release. And if you want to do what we call like working the negative, that means on the when you release, you fight that resistance, and you might want to count it out to go as slow as possible. That's just a different way to work that exercise. Okay, pulling back, and you're going to feel that in that upper back, hey? Yeah, these are great. So you want to hit like 10 to 12, or again, another great finisher. And I'm going to suggest when you do go out, if you don't have bands yet, like if you buy mini bands, they typically come as a set. Sometimes these come as a set. If you're out, garage sale shopping or block party shopping, things like that people have, and you see one, pick it up, but don't just start with one. You want to get a couple different resistances, so that because you're going to be stronger in some areas as opposed to others, and you don't want to limit your workout to, oh, well, this isn't really doing much for me, right?
Well, like a great example is that the face pull we just did. You're going to need a lighter load than this last exercise.
Right, which is the thruster. You probably have heard of these or seen people do them with dumbbells, but these are awesome to do with resistance bands. Okay, so you might probably want to start with feet about shoulder width apart till you get used to the exercise. And what you do is you drop, this is a full body movement. You're gonna drop down, you're gonna pull up your bands. You're gonna come down, and as you stand, you're gonna extend. And there's your thrust, okay? Bring them down, squat down, and extend. And you're really driving that up, really pushing that up. Now, if you have it like this band is a little bit, I could use a little bit more resistance, so I would widen my stance without compromising my form, okay? I might actually turn my toes out and go more to like a sumo stance, okay? So I'm gonna come down and thrust, and that's just giving me a little bit more of a workout there.
You could
and
alternate.
Up. Yes. Lots of different ways to work that. But a great full body movement.
Oh my
Love that one. Love that one.
Killer, yeah. If you want a true total body crusher anywhere in your workout, but as a finisher, so good.
Yeah.
And again, go as many reps as you want.
Yeah.
What's great about all the movements we've just shown, mini bands, power bands, resistance bands, most of them are geared towards higher reps.
Yes.
Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah.
And so they make for great finisher exercises and just exercise for a great pump at the tail end of the workout.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, thank you, Coach Tonya.
Thank you, Coach Chris.
And thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this and learned something new about training with bands.
Yes. And if you haven't done so, make sure you click that subscribe button so you're getting that notification so you don't miss any of our great content.
Yes. Leave us some comments or some questions about other band exercises you'd like to see. And don't forget about that free gift. It's a 5-minute mini band workout.
You're gonna love it.
Pinned below at the top of the comment section. It's a free gift to you. I know you'll love it. You can download it right away.
Click it and there you go, free gift. Who doesn't love free gifts?
Yeah, right? We'll see you in the next video.
Bye. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you click here to subscribe to our channel. Give this video a thumbs up and leave us a comment below. And click right here to find out more about our mini band workout. And this video right here, you're gonna love it. I'm Coach Tonya at Criticalbench. Have an awesome day.